going on a long road trip. Will my car make it? Hola! I'm Mike, the Backyard Mechanic, and Mrs. Backyard Mechanic and I are going on a road trip. Actually, we already went, but thanks to the magic of video time shifting, you're seeing this video now, as if it hasn't happened yet. Where did we go? I just said, video time shift. We haven't gone yet. Besides, it's a secret. I try to be very careful about giving away too much of our personal life. I almost didn't go at all. I got lost, but Socket found me. Fortunately, he had me microchipped. This was one night after Mrs. Backyard Mechanic took me to the liquor store. I know it's odd, but this way I don't get in trouble when I tell her she drives me to drink. A lot of friends expected that we would take the Mustang on the trip, but that's just crazy. That car is for cruising around, not for crossing the country. And Mrs. Backyard Mechanic can't drive a clutch. I know. I married her anyway. We're taking the Honda Pilot, but is it ready for a cross-country trip? It will be! You should be checking your tires periodically. I like to replace my tires before they go flat. Most things that go wrong with a car happen gradually. A tire can go bad like that. You can check your tread life with a tire depth gauge or a penny where you see the top of Lincoln's head. But I never do either of those things. Tires come with wear bars. Once they start getting close to the surface, it's time to replace the tire. Look at the sidewalls. Make sure there are no large missing chunks or unsightly bulges. I'm thinking of making him the channel mascot. Either of those issues are cause to replace the tire. The Pilot is good. For reference, the Mustang tires are getting close. A video devoted to burning the rest of the tires off the car? Coming soon. After checking the tread, check the air in all of the tires. The amount of air is not based on the tire, it's based on the vehicle. Look at the tag that is usually on the door jamb. The Pilot tire should be all 35 pounds. Check the spare. The Pilot spare should be 60 pounds. Finally, throw that pressure gauge in the glove box. If your TPMS light comes on, you'll want to know which tire is low. Next, you need to check your fluids. Do not allow the international communist conspiracy to sap and impurify all of your vehicular fluids. I mean, you know, check and make sure everything's topped off. You want the washer fluid full. A road trip typically means a windshield full of bugs. Check the antifreeze level to ensure that it's between low and high. You should have your coolant system flushed between 50 and 100,000 miles to prevent corrosion and buildup and because antifreeze degrades. Instead of topping mine off, I had the system flushed. I didn't do it myself because it's hard to not make a mess. I don't really have the equipment, and what do you do with old coolant? I don't even know. While I had the coolant flushed, the Pilot is on 150,000 miles and it was overdue, so I also had the transmission fluid replaced. I had it drained and replaced, not flushed. Replacing is good. Flushing can push contaminants into places you don't want it to go.
Oh my God.
The brake fluid should be checked. If it's more than a tiny bit low, you should check your brake lines for leaks. Brake fluid should be flushed every 2 years because it accumulates water and degrades. It was done on the Pilot recently. Check the oil. Technically, dirty oil will get you around for quite a while. You just want to ensure the oil level is not low, which could cause you problems, or too high, which would cause more problems. Read the dipstick correctly. The oil level should be right in the middle of the range. The Pilot was due for an oil change. Pop off the drain plug and drain the oil. Make the crush washer industrial complex happy and replace the plug. Remove the oil filter. The Pilot has a genius system that dumps oil all over the frame in spite of the solo cup trick. I think it was designed by Exxon. Replace the filter and wipe up the mess. You need a special funnel for the Pilot because the oil cap is pretty deep inside there. Yeah, she did. While you're under the hood, check the belt. Make sure it does not have too much play and it's not frayed. Check the battery terminals. The negative terminal on the Pilot had gotten so corroded I replaced it. Make sure they're snug and don't move and there's no battery acid. By the way, to help things light up in the engine bay, I was sent this Workhorse work light. It's a cute little light that attaches with a magnet or a clip. It also does different color lights, which is convenient if you want to work in a red or a blue light. Anyway, it's 20 bucks. Link in the description. Believe it or not, windshield wipers should be replaced every 6 months. This, of course, depends on usage. You can tell a blade is bad or going bad if it's missing spots, squeaking, or streaking. The Pilot eats wiper blades. Here's the secret about wiper blades. Cheap ones and expensive ones all last about 6 months. This $100 blade from O'Reilly's and this $5 blade from Amazon both last 6 months. I don't suggest buying the cheapest blades you can find. They will most likely be quite flimsy. Like the excuse I gave Mrs. Backyard Mechanic last night. I swear I was helping a little old lady change a flat tire, and to thank me she gave me a bottle of whiskey and insisted I drink it, like in front of her. And she said she always gives Good Samaritans a stamp on the back of the hand, a stamp from Boom Boom's nightclub. I suggest the cheapest name brand you can find. Get Trico Gold from Amazon. They're about half the price as the auto parts store. Wiper blades are usually different sizes. Besides making sure you bought the right sizes in the first place, make sure you're putting the right size on the right side. Most wipers are held on with a hook mount. Sometimes you have to squeeze the sides or push a button to help release it. On the Pilot, you just push it real good. Push it real good. Yes, she did. To install, slip the clip onto the hook and give it a good yank until it pops on. No, that time she didn't. Slip the blade protector off and repeat on the other side. If you have more time than money, you can just replace the blade, but it's not an easy job. You should always have an idea of the condition of your brakes. If your engine stops running, you just stop. But if you can't stop, I don't know about you, but I like to stop. I think I turned the wrong way. You can get an indication that your brakes need maintenance a few ways. If the pedal is going to the floor, that could indicate your pads are worn out and the caliper has further to travel. It could also mean you're low on brake fluid or the brake fluid is old. Another way is if the brakes squeak. If they're grinding, you've let them go too far and you've got metal on metal action. Sometimes brakes are just noisy and make squeaking sounds, but that is different than the sound from the wear protector on your brake pads. When the pads get low, a piece of metal rubs on the disc and makes a loud squealing noise. Any brake noises should be checked out. The best way to check your brakes is to take off at least one wheel, ideally all four, and look at the pad thickness. They should be over 1/8 of an inch and preferably over 1/4 of an inch. The Pilot pads look new because they are. This hunk of junk suffers from easily warped rotors. One time a butterfly landed on the rotor and they warped. I've got a video about that. So before going on a road trip, I replaced the front rotors and pads. The wheel is removed and the caliper. Because the rotor is coming off, the caliper bracket is removed. The old rotor is trashed and replaced. New slides are clipped onto the caliper bracket and is bolted into place. Brake grease is applied to the slides and the backs of the brake pads. The pads are put on and the caliper. After completing the other side, the wheels are put back on, the car is lowered, and the lug nuts are torqued to 100 foot-pounds. After doing any kind of brake job, before putting the car in gear, make sure to pump up the brakes. To bed new brakes, start at 25 miles an hour and quickly slow to a few miles an hour. Repeat 3 times, then increase the speed 10 miles an hour and repeat that until you get to 45 miles an hour. Bedding brakes transfers an even layer of brake pad material onto the rotor. This minimizes noise, vibration, and premature wear and extends the lifespan of your pads and rotors. Check the headlights, the brights, and the running lights. Turn signals in the front, turn signals in the back, brake lights, and reverse lights. The Pilot headlights are a mess. My 6th video from 2.5 years ago goes into detail on how to fix yellowed headlights. I'm using the same kit from then. These headlights are not as bad as the Lexus headlights were, which required sanding with a fine grit. These just need polishing. I don't need to mask anything off because I'm not using sandpaper. I learned my lesson from the first time. Dab that polish on the surface before turning on the drill. I recommend this kit for mothers. It comes with sanding discs and a buff ball. Wow, they don't look gross anymore. This was a special request from Mrs. Backyard Mechanic. She said the steering wheel caused her pain because of her fibromyalgia, rheumatoid and osteoarthritis, tendonitis, carpal tunnel syndrome, diabetic neuropathy, and her gout. So I got a padded steering wheel cover. These aren't easy to put on, but there's a process. Clamp it in place in a couple of spots. You could also use wire ties or even string. Heating the cover is optional, but it'll make it stretchier and that much easier. Using a pry tool or a large screwdriver, pull the cover into place. It's a good idea to have an emergency kit in your car at all times, but especially if you'll be hundreds of miles from home. Exactly what goes in the kit depends on your expertise. If you don't know how to hold a wrench, well, I'm surprised you're watching my videos. But there are other things you still need. I like to keep a jug of water. If the car overheats, that water could get you to the next stop. I bought a tire inflator. This one is medium duty. We're not deflating or inflating our tires to go four-wheeling. This is in case a tire gets a slow leak. Gas stations used to give you air for free. Now they take your credit card and charge you $2 to find out their compressor is broken. Next is a jump starter battery pack. What? You still have jumper cables? Do you use paper maps? Do you get your milk delivered in glass bottles? Do you watch a black and white TV? Jumper cables are so 20th century. These jumper packs are cool and surprisingly powerful. This one will jump start the car 7 times. The website says 100 times, but I jumped the Mustang once and it used 15% of the power. It can also be used as a roadside emergency light. The best part is, if it gets low, you can plug it into your 12-volt outlet and charge it. Of course, if your battery is dead. Or you can get 2 for 1. This device has both a jump starter and an air compressor. I haven't tested it, but the reviews are good and it's a great price. You need duct tape. Honestly, you don't really need anything else. Something breaks and it's dragging under the car, duct tape it. I also threw baling wire in there. It will do a few things duct tape can't do, like maybe wiring up a hanging muffler. Finally, I bought this low-profile toolbox that fits in the pilot's back compartment. Socket! You can't eat that tape! I put a bunch of basic tools in there. You'll want screwdrivers, pliers, and wrenches, and if all else fails, a hammer. I want that. Help me get it and like this video. If you are looking for an excuse, now is the time to install a dash cam. Driving is the most dangerous thing any of us do, and going several hundred miles on a road trip doesn't help. Plus, you can lock the videos of nice scenery, which I didn't do, but it would have been nice. Scenery. I installed the Pelsey P3. It's a good camera. On my trip, I plugged in my D&D Echo OBD2 reader and just left it in the whole time. If anything goes wrong, I just pull up the app and scan the codes. And if you have a problem with a dumb code for emissions, you can turn it off. Then you'll know if the engine light comes on for a serious reason. Readers also come with dashboard controls so you can monitor various things such as gas usage, airflow, cylinder misses, etc. I like my D&D code reader. It has pretty decent features on how to fix certain codes, but there are other alternatives. I recommend one of the VPeaks. If you have an Android, you can get one as cheap as $15. Finally, roadside assistance through your insurance company is a good idea, even if you're a decent mechanic. If you hit a brick on the highway, working on the side of the road with your little emergency toolkit isn't going to get it done. Now, you don't absolutely have to have roadside assistance because it doesn't really pay for itself. What you can do instead is just call your insurance company and ask for a tow truck and a place to take it for repairs. You'll pay out of pocket, but your insurance will have reliable companies that they routinely work with, and they'll have reasonable prices. Now a word about my channel sponsor, Crazy Dog T-shirts. People ask me where I get my shirts, and now you know. Not only are their shirts cool and zany, but they're super comfortable because they're made from ring-spun cotton. What is ring-spun cotton? Don't know, but they are soft. And not just t-shirts, they have hoodies, tanks, coffee cups, even tea towels. You know you want a tea towel. Every item you buy helps this channel, or at least helps keep me in nutty t-shirts. And the shirts are cheap. I mean, these are the best deals for crazy t-shirts on the interwebs. And when you use my promo code MikeMech20, they're almost free. So there's really no reason not to buy something from Crazy Dog. As usual, link in the description, as long as all the tools I've been recommending. Even if you're not going on a long trip, these are all maintenance items you should be doing. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mike, how can you afford to go on vacation? I paid for it with my new job as a brand ambassador for a ladies' body cream company. They only had one kind of body cream, and it was called White. So I renamed it Sugar Cookie, and sales soared. My next project was to rename their other white cream, and I came up with Hustle Butter. This one did bangers. Feeling my oats, my next names were Breast Milk, Whore Juice, and Slut Secretion. Then they fired me for no reason, so I went on vacation. Oh, I have a fan online. Hey, fan, did you like the video?
You know, this is a great video on vacations. After sitting through the whole thing, I really need a vacation.
Thanks, fan. I mentioned the dash cam in this video, but I didn't show how to install it. I do that in this video. Man, who doesn't like whore juice? You're in my seat. That's my seat. Precious vehicular fluids. I mean, you know. Sock it.